99% of men don't do this. Women love it. Sounds extreme, maybe. But let me ask you this. How many times have you seen a guy who seems to have it all, yet still struggles to create deep, meaningful connections with women? It's not about looks, money, or confidence. The truth is, most men completely overlook certain small yet powerful gestures that can make them irresistible. And today, I'm about to reveal 7 hidden seeker secrets that women secretly crave but rarely admit. These aren't the typical dating tips you've heard 100 times. These are subtle psychological triggers backed by both science and ancient Stoic wisdom that can transform the way women perceive you, making you unforgettable without trying too hard. Imagine this. What if you could tap into the subconscious desires that most women don't even realize they have? What if you could effortlessly stand out from 99% of men? Not by chasing, not by proving yourself, but by understanding what truly makes a woman feel seen, desired, and emotionally connected. And here's the thing. If you don't know these secrets, you're at a major disadvantage. You could be missing out on building the kind of attraction that keeps her thinking about you long after you've left the room. That's why you need to stay until the end of this video. The final secret is the most powerful one, and once you understand it, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you're serious about mastering these game-changing techniques, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the life-changing insights coming your way. Let's get started with secret number 1. The power of touch before intimacy. 1. The power of touch before intimacy. Picture this. You're on a date. The conversation is flowing, she's laughing, and everything seems to be going well. But something feels off. You can sense that the connection isn't quite there. She's engaged, but not fully drawn in. You drop her off, send a follow-up text, and then silence. No response. What happened? Most men focus only on words when trying to build attraction. They think a great conversation is enough. But for women, connection is not just verbal, it's physical and emotional. And there's one incredibly underrated way to create that connection. Touch. Not in a pushy, aggressive way. Not in a way that makes her feel uncomfortable. But in a subtle, intentional, and deeply meaningful way. One of the most overlooked gestures that women secretly crave is a simple, gentle, non-sexual touch before intimacy. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it's powerful for women. Emotional connection is just as important, if not more so, than physical attraction. A well-placed, non-sexual touch communicates so much more than words ever could. It says, I see you. I care about you. I want you to feel safe and comfortable with me. It's not about being a massage therapist or trying to impress her. It's about presence, being in the moment, making her feel relaxed, understood, and desired. Not just physically, but emotionally. The key is not just about the touch itself. It's about the intent behind it. If you're just going through the motions, it won't work. But if you're present, engaged, and actually paying attention to how she responds, she will feel it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Don't overthink it. Don't make it weird. Just be in the moment and let your actions speak for themselves. Here's the harsh truth. Most men never take the time to understand this concept. That's why they remain part of the 99% who struggle with emotional intimacy. But the men who do create deep, lasting connections that women can't forget. In a world where most guys rely on instant gratification and surface-level interactions, this kind of thoughtful approach is rare. But when you master it, you become part of the 1%, the men who truly understand what women desire on a deeper level. Now let's move on to Secret 2, flirting with confidence and respect. Secret 2, the art of flirting with respect. Most men misunderstand flirting. They either overdo it, coming across as pushy and desperate, or they hold back too much, afraid of making a mistake. The truth is, women love flirting, but only when it's done with confidence, subtlety, and respect. A man who knows how to flirt effortlessly stands out because he creates an energy that feels exciting without pressure. Say it with the calm, grounded energy of a man who doesn't just look, he sees. She'll never forget that moment, and she'll never forget you. Phrase 2. I like women who know what they want. This is one of the most underestimated phrases a man can say. On the surface, it sounds like a compliment, but at its core, it's something far more powerful. It's a quiet challenge, a standard, a filter. Most guys, especially when they're attracted to a woman, instinctively try to gain her approval. They say things they think she wants to hear. They agree too quickly, smile too much, and try too hard to impress her, hoping that if they're sweet, smart, or funny enough, she'll choose them. But what that does, without them realizing, is shift the energy. Now she's the prize, and he's the one chasing. He's auditioning. He's proving himself. Woo-hoo. And whether women are fully aware of it or not, that energy becomes predictable and eventually boring. But when you look a woman in the eye, calm, composed, and confident, and you say, I like women who know what they want, everything changes. You're no longer seeking her validation. You're not trying to win her over. You're stating a preference, a standard, and that subtly shifts the conversation from am I good enough for her to is she what I'm looking for? It's a small pivot with a huge impact because now she's the one who's qualifying herself to you. She starts wondering, do I seem confident to him? Do I come across like I know what I want? Am I meeting his standard? That internal questioning is exactly what builds attraction on a deeper level. Not only are you seen as selective, but you're also reinforcing a message she doesn't hear often. You're not available to just anyone. Here's the psychology behind why this hits so well. Women deeply admire men who have clarity. Clarity of mind, clarity of purpose, and clarity in their values. When you say, I like women who know what they want, you're revealing your attraction to clarity in others, which reflects the clarity you have in yourself. That makes you strong, rooted, reliable, rare, and extremely attractive. Now, the timing of this phrase matters. It's best used in moments when she's showing some level of decisiveness or leadership. Maybe she orders boldly at a restaurant, confidently shares her opinion, or tells you what she's looking for in life. That's when you drop this line. You look her in the eye, nod slightly, and say it with quiet admiration. I like women who know what they want. Then pause. Let it sit. Don't follow it up with anything soft or apologetic. You're not saying it for her approval. You're just expressing what you value. When you hold that line with calm energy, it creates a kind of emotional gravity. It pulls her towards you. It's also incredibly effective when she asks you what type of woman you're into. Most men would fumble and say things like, I don't really have a type, or someone who's nice. I guess that's vague and forgettable. Instead, if you calmly respond with, I like women who know what they want, you do two things at once. You communicate strength, and you spark a challenge. She'll now be measuring herself against your standard. Here's the key. Once you say it, act in alignment with it. If she's indecisive, insecure, or flaky, don't chase. Because if you chase someone who doesn't meet the standard you set out loud, your words lose weight. But if you stay grounded, calm, and consistent, she'll feel the difference. She'll sense that you're not just talking, you're living that standard. That's when the magic happens. She starts investing more in the conversation. She leans forward a little more. She opens up. She begins to want to be seen as the kind of woman who knows what she wants. And that's not manipulation, it's magnetism. It's a healthy dynamic where both people are stepping up to each other's energy, not playing games. So remember, don't speak to impress. Speak to express your values. This one simple phrase, "I like women who know what they want," will flip the script from you chasing her to her, wondering how to keep your interest. Phrase 3. That's what I like most about you. This phrase might seem simple, but it's incredibly potent when used right. It's a phrase that shifts you from a surface-level compliment giver into a man who actually sees her. For most women, that experience is rare, emotionally rare, and unforgettable. You see, most compliments women receive are based on the obvious: her looks, her style, maybe her smile. And sure, those compliments feel good in the moment, but they don't stick. They don't create emotional depth. They don't leave an imprint. Why? Because every guy notices what's on the surface. It doesn't take skill, insight, or emotional connection to say, "You're beautiful." But it does take presence and awareness to say, "That passion you have when you talk about your goals, that's what I like most about you."